Your brain is lying to you about time, right now. And this invisible distortion is sabotaging your happiness, your relationships, and your success. Philip Zimbardo spent 30 years proving it. What he discovered will change how you experience every single moment. In 1971, Philip Zimbardo conducted the infamous Stanford prison experiment. But what most people do not know is that this experiment led him to an even more profound discovery. He noticed that some prisoners broke down in days while others stayed resilient for weeks. The difference was not intelligence or strength. It was how they experienced time itself. This observation launched a 30-year research journey that would eventually reveal something extraordinary. Every human being falls into one of 6 distinct time perspectives, and whichever perspective dominates your mind is quietly controlling your entire life. But here is where it gets fascinating. Most people have no idea which perspective controls them. By the end of this summary, you will not only know your dominant perspective, you will understand exactly how to change it. The first 2 perspectives are rooted in your past. Past positive thinkers are nostalgic and warm. They treasure family photo albums and cherish traditions. These people tend to have strong relationships and high self-esteem. But then there are past negative thinkers. These individuals are haunted by regrets, traumas, and missed opportunities. They replay painful memories like a broken record. And here is what Zimbardo discovered that shocked the psychology world. Your past perspective is not determined by what actually happened to you. 2 people can experience the same childhood trauma. One becomes past negative, endlessly replaying the pain. The other reframes it as past positive, seeing it as the challenge that made them stronger. If you are loving this breakdown of transformative ideas, that like button helps more than you know. The difference is not the event itself. It is the story you tell yourself about it. This means your relationship with your past is not fixed. It can be changed. Now let me show you something that will change your perspective entirely. The next 2 time orientations focus on the present, and they explain why some people seem to squeeze so much more joy out of life. Present hedonists live for pleasure and sensation. They say yes to adventure, embrace spontaneity, and rarely check their watches. These are the life of the party people who make ordinary moments feel electric. But there is a shadow side. Unchecked present hedonism leads to addiction, risky behavior, and destroyed relationships. The momentary pleasure becomes a prison. Then there are present fatalists. These individuals believe they have no control over their lives. What happens, happens. Why plan when fate decides everything? This perspective is strongly correlated with depression, low achievement, and learned helplessness. But here is the critical insight most summaries miss. Neither present perspective is inherently good or bad. The problem is when one perspective dominates without balance. The final 2 perspectives are future-oriented, and this is where Zimbardo's research became directly relevant to success. Future-positive thinkers delay gratification, set goals, and sacrifice present pleasure for future reward. These are the CEOs, the athletes, the high achievers. They can see their future selves clearly and work backward to make that vision reality. Studies show that future positive orientation is the single strongest predictor of academic and professional success. Stronger than IQ, stronger than socioeconomic background. But then there is future negative. These individuals are consumed by anxiety about what is coming. They catastrophize, worry, and lose sleep over possibilities that may never occur. The future becomes a source of dread rather than hope. Think about that for a second. 2 people looking at the same future. One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. Same future, completely different experience. And this brings us to the million-dollar question. Can you actually change your time perspective? But here is where Zimbardo's research delivers its biggest surprise. And this insight alone makes this book worth its weight in gold. Yes, you can change your time perspective, but not the way you might think. The goal is not to eliminate perspectives. It is to develop what Zimbardo calls temporal flexibility, the ability to shift between time perspectives depending on what the situation requires. At a family dinner, shift to past positive. Embrace the nostalgia and connection. Working on a deadline, shift to future positive. Lock in on the goal. On vacation, healthy present hedonism lets you actually enjoy the experience instead of photographing it for later. The tragedy is that most people are stuck in one perspective like a broken compass. If you want to see how to actually develop this flexibility, subscribe now because we are about to get to the practical application. Past negative thinkers cannot enjoy success because they are haunted by old wounds. Future positive people cannot relax because they are always chasing the next goal. So how do you actually develop this temporal flexibility? Zimbardo provides a specific diagnostic and treatment plan. First, the diagnosis. Take his time perspective inventory. It is a scientifically validated questionnaire that reveals your dominant and weak perspectives. Most people discover they are severely unbalanced, maybe 80% future-focused with almost zero past positive, or dominated by present hedonism with no future orientation at all. The treatment starts with understanding your imbalance. If you are too future-focused, the prescription is deliberately scheduled present moments. Mandatory vacations where planning is forbidden. Weekly activities done purely for enjoyment with no productivity goal. If you are stuck in past negative, the work is reframing. Working with a therapist or through journaling to literally rewrite the stories you tell about your past. Not changing the facts, changing the meaning. Tell me in the comments which perspective you think dominates your life. This is the cognitive work that transforms how time feels. But here is what makes this book truly life-changing. Zimbardo does not just describe individual perspectives. He shows how they collide in relationships. A future-focused planner married to a present hedonist? That is not a personality conflict. That is a time perspective clash. Neither person is wrong. They are literally experiencing time differently. One sees the vacation as an investment in memories. The other sees it as a present experience to maximize. Understanding this framework transforms how you see conflict. Your past positive mother who wants every holiday exactly like childhood? She is not being difficult. She is operating from a time perspective that treasures continuity. Your future-focused boss who cannot celebrate wins? She is not cold. She is already looking at the next horizon. This insight alone has saved marriages and repaired family relationships. When you stop judging people for having different time perspectives and start translating between them, everything changes. Zimbardo's ultimate prescription is what he calls the optimal time perspective, the ideal balance across all 6 orientations. It looks like this: moderately high past positive. You value where you came from without being trapped there. Low past negative. The wounds are processed, not forgotten, but no longer controlling. Moderate present hedonism. You can enjoy the moment without losing yourself in it. Low present fatalism. You believe your choices matter. High future positive. You work toward meaningful goals. Low future negative. You prepare for challenges without catastrophizing. This balanced state is not just theoretical. Zimbardo's research shows that people who achieve this balance report significantly higher life satisfaction, better relationships, greater resilience, and more career success. The clock is not your enemy. Time is not running out. You are simply learning to dance with it instead of fighting it. Now let me share the most practical takeaway from this entire book. The one technique Zimbardo says creates the fastest shift. It is called time perspective therapy, and you can start it today. Every morning, before you check your phone, ask yourself one question. Which time perspective do I need to lead with today? If you have a family gathering, consciously activate past positive. If you have a project deadline, shift to future positive. If it is your day off, give yourself permission for present hedonism. This simple question begins building the neural pathways for temporal flexibility. At first it feels forced, but within weeks, the shifting becomes automatic. You start noticing when you are stuck. Past negative thoughts arise, and you recognize them. Future negative anxiety spikes, and you can name it. Awareness is the first step to choice, and choice is where freedom lives. There is one final insight that Zimbardo saved for the book's conclusion, and it transforms everything we have discussed. He argues that the greatest gift you can give your future self is a past worth remembering. Read that again. The greatest gift you can give your future self is a past worth remembering.